What is going on, everybody? Rajay back in the house on a Tuesday. What? It's not Thursday. It's not Friday. It's not Saturday. It's Tuesday. And I am in the house with my buddy Dave here from Beer in Front. What is going on, my man? Glad to have you on tonight. How are you feeling?
Rod, thanks. I'm doing good, Rod. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Yeah, Tuesdays, we had like Tuesday night football last year, and now we got Tuesday night Rajay. It's
Well, it is St. Patrick's week too, so it could get crazy here. If you drink Tuesday, if you drink Wednesday, and then we got Thursday, and then you're into the weekend. I mean, haven't drank that much since the college days, so it's been a while, but I'm up for a challenge.
Yeah, we got the NCAA tournament this weekend, so I'm assuming I'll be sitting somewhere having a few.
But for those of you that don't know Dave, he actually runs the Beer in Front podcast. In the comments, I actually have a link out there to take you to the website, which I'll share with you guys here in a little bit as well. Talks a lot of stuff about beer, in beer, and outside of beer. And then we get into the jag-offs and some of the other stuff that he actually has there. A little bit of fun with the show. Coming from the big Chi-town, and which I need to get back up to once all this stuff is lifted, because I'm usually up there like every 1.5 years or so. My wife usually has a conference or something, and it's great because she goes to conferences and I just drink all day. Hotel rooms taken care of. Can't beat that. So definitely dying there. It is good living. It is good living for sure. And we're downtown, so you can walk everywhere you need to go for the most part, or get an Uber out to the brewery. So always nice, always a fun city, always nice to get up to Chicago. So we're going to get into a little bit of that, talk about some of the things that you're doing, and shout out to everybody coming in. And I'll try to get your comments as I get them in here. As always, when I have a guest, when I try to keep the focus there so we can kind of talk about some of the hot topics. We always want to say hello to all you. So we got White Chipmunks in the house and saying hello. She can't say long, but always great to see you, my friend. And she says, nice to meet you as well, Dave. And then we got
nice
Thomas.
To meet you.
Thomas is up late over in the UK. So thank you, Thomas, for actually popping in. And right now, because we did our time change, we're only 4 hours difference between us and the UK. They do theirs like in a week and a half, and then they'll be back to 5 hours ahead of us. So we got an hour less in connecting with the UK there. But I'm going to crack open a beer, but I'm going to go ahead and let you talk about the beer you cracked open first if you want to share that.
Absolutely. I'm drinking a Hopewell. I don't know if you can see it there. This is their Italian Pilsner Alpi. Really good. I've been into Italian Pilsners a lot lately. If you're used to an Italian Pilsner, you think of like a Moretti or a Peroni. These are a lot better, the local ones here. This is a good one. I've had quite a few lately that I'm digging. It's very crisp, as you could see. Just a wonderful Pilsner. I have a barrel-aged one later, so I figure, I'll start with something light and then work our way up to the barrel age. But no, this is an Italian Pilsner from Hopewell in Chicago called Alpi, A-L-P-I.
Nice, very nice. Nothing wrong with a crisp Pilsner. And I'm going to crack open one from your neck of the woods. Actually, one I just did a review on because I had an extra one here. It is from Hop Butcher for the World. It is the New Fall IPA. So the New Fall with IPA there.
Very good.
And that's one I just did a review on, a very nice one. Of course, Hop Butcher is doing some good things there as well. They've been providing a lot of different stuff. There's been a lot of people doing reviews. They've been very nice at reaching out to some of us here in the community to share what they're doing. And I get up there, I definitely want to try to get more of their beers, but I believe they don't have a location yet, right? They're still kind of brewing at different places in Chicago.
No, and actually, you get some more stuff of Hop Butcher than I do, because I'm looking, I'm like, I couldn't even find that, and Rajay's drinking that. So didn't you have the stout not that long ago? Did you have the banana stout?
I had the Bananagram.
I could not find that one.
Yeah. It's who you know. It's who you know, right? So I know a guy, so yeah. Yeah. But that was a nice one. And I'll have the review coming out on that too. But they had a really good one. It was with the skull in a can. I can't think of the name offhand. That was really tasty. That was one of my favorite Imperial Stouts I had last year. Was the one they did there. So they
put out like 2 a week, and what they do is generally they'll can it on Mondays, and it's in your favorite place by Wednesday and Thursday. So literally, it's 72 hours fresh.
Yeah.
They do a lot of hazy. That's pretty much what they're known for. But don't sleep on their other things. Their regular IPAs are great. You said the stout was good. Yeah, everything they do well. So I'm a big fan of Hop Butcher.
Yeah, they surprised me with as good as the stouts have been, just because the majority of stuff had been double IPA, which was pretty much all solid. They had a great triple IPA. I really liked Digital Frontier. It was probably my favorite triple IPA from them. And then, now they have some other stuff with the IPAs. They have some other stouts. They did the Soar, which was the Mexican lager, which was a nice one as well. Especially on a warmer day, that'd be a nice one. You just kick back, or if you're grilling or whatever outside, just nice, easy drinking beer there. So they're doing a good variety of stuff. So very impressed with them.
Did you have any of the collaboration they did with Revolution last year?
I did not have any of that.
They put out 3 beer. Oh, I don't think I have any left in my cabinet, but I think they're going to do it like once a year. It's a base, superstructure, and I forget what the last one was, but all 3 were top notch. Maintain shapes. That's what the third one was. So yeah, all 3 of those are good. If they release that again this year, I'll make sure I keep one off to the side, because I believe they only release it right at Revolution. So we had to do the pickup and wait in line in your car to get it, and they'll just pop the trunk and they'll put it in the trunk for you.
Yeah, Lori doesn't want you guys out in the street, so yeah, got to pick it up curbside. No, Revolution does some pretty decent beers there as well. One I haven't been to there yet that I've been told to go to is really Dovetail, and I haven't gotten any of their beers yet, but I've heard how they actually do. So
Dovetail is Dovetail's all German place. They do traditional German styles, excellent, and literally, it's not even maybe 500 feet away. You have the Guile is right there, so you could, in that area where Dovetail is, you could walk to 4 or 5 different breweries and have a good afternoon.
Nice. Well, they're definitely on my list for when I get back up there. I had a couple of friends working at Lagunitas, so I was there last time I was in Chicago. And nice operation they actually have there. Chipmunks, you want to wish us a happy St. Patrick's Day, and a happy St. Patrick's Day to yourself as well.
Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day.
We got a I don't know how big of an Irish contingent here throughout the Cincinnati area. It's a lot more German, but there is some Irish, and there will be some kegs and eggs at places tomorrow. So I don't know what the whole social distancing rules are, but there will be some people starting around 7 a.m. probably, and just took the day off, and they're going to get after it. So
it was busy here Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday everything was a mess, and it was like a year ago. When everything started getting shut down, and it was all the drunken fools out on St. Patrick's Day. So hopefully we don't start this again. But everybody was out Saturday. They dyed the river green here for St. Patrick's Day. Everybody was out with green beer. I even saw, I didn't have any because I think it was only at their tap room, but Goose Island had a green glitter beer for St. Patrick's Day out.
Oh, interesting. I have not heard about that one. Although Goose Island did that Cadbury over in the UK that I would have loved to actually try it. I'm like, how do you not do it here as well? Like, I don't know if you saw the Cadbury egg beer they did. They did a special release over in the UK because that's where Cadbury's from. It's like, we're here. Mm-hmm. Why not here too?
Yeah.
we like Cadbury.
Yeah. I'm just imagining that to be super sweet.
Mm-hmm. One of my friends over in the UK said it sold out like in a few minutes because over there you can order stuff online a lot easier than here.
Okay.
And it was gone once it released. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Blake, what do you think of the Hop Butcher?
This one is actually a nice, tasty one. It's very nice it's a regular IPA, but it has a nice feel of the bitterness, nice feel kind of like the pine, the underlying citrus. Not as overly drying as some of the other ones are, so it has a nice little feel there. Got a little bit of a juiciness in there. They're big on the juiciness in a lot of their beers. So for just a regular IPA has a nice feel there. So I dig it. I dig it. So anybody that didn't see the review, I've got that out there. But it's Hop Butcher. I'm just going to say it's Hop Butcher, so that means it's worth trying. Hop Butcher in another language means worth trying. I mean, those two words, that's what they mean. So, and Happy Blake says, happy Stone Cold Steve Austin Day, because it is 3/16. So,
yeah, I don't know if I could, bust the can open, but yeah.
You got cheers to BC as well. He does reviews out of Michigan, so great to see you as well, my friend. And then tomorrow is St. Patty's, so it'll be a little crazy getting after it. Some people will have cabbage rolls and stuff like that and everything too. I just kind of focus on the beer when it's St. Patty's.
Corned beef.
Yeah, corned beef, yeah. And the BC Happy Austin 3/16 Day, yeah. So start hashtagging that out there. But before we get deep into the beer, because you kind of alluded to it earlier, we're going to ask, what were the football minds in Chicago thinking? $10 million? Andy Dalton? How much tread is left on that tire? It's not a lot. It's not a lot.
No. We haven't had a good quarterback here since McMahon. And before that was the 40s. So, I don't know. It still has to be better than Trubisky, but Chicago Twitter is up in arms. It's, I took a little nap today as my day off, and I woke up and my phone was blowing up. I'm like, no. Russell Wilson put 4 teams out that he would come to. Chicago was one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's just going to be another bad year. It's, like I'm sure as a Bengals fan, it's just been poor to mediocre every year for God only knows how long, and you just kind of accept that, here's going to be another 6-10 year.
Well, I just live in Cincinnati. I don't claim them. I just live here. So, But I got to feel like the ink didn't even dry on that check that Jerry Jones received for Dalton before he let him go. So, as soon as he said, we'll give you $10 million for Andy. Oh, take him. He's gone. Didn't even finish Andy Dalton. Just said the and he was out the door.
I don't know. On your show now with Andy Dalton, on the podcast I put out, I'm talking to the Beard Ale podcast, and they're out of Jacksonville, and they gave the Bears Nick Foles last year. So I don't know. I'm going to need to widen my circle of friends. Maybe somebody with a better quarterback that they could give us, because you guys are killing us here.
Well, even thinking about Chicago, like you mentioned Mitch, but even you had Mitch, but Mitch had a Trubisky, so he had kind of that Chicago type name to him, right? It kind of felt like, okay, Chicago or Green Bay, one or two places, maybe the Lions. He could be in one of those 3 teams, and that name would go well. But it's like Andy Dalton. It's like he doesn't have the workman type thing. He comes in with the red hair. He's not like the Jim McMahon kind of blue collar, let's go to work type thing. It's just like Andy Dalton. It's like, I don't know. To see him out there in a Chicago image is just, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, at least there's orange. He'll look well with the orange. He's used to that. But, I'm thinking he's not going to make the mistakes that Mitch makes. He always just has poor decision making. He always throws off the wrong foot. So I'm hoping, Dalton maybe won't be flashy, but he could be effective and maybe get the job done. So I'm trying to be optimistic about it.
But I would say, Mitch is young, right? So he's younger. And he's a 10-year veteran. He could still throw off the wrong foot or still do so. So I don't know if he gets better. But we'll see. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe he'll work some magic and Bears in the playoffs.
I hope
Who
so.
knows? Yeah.
Just get Andy here by tomorrow. Get him here at St. Patrick's Day. They'll like him more.
You missed the days of Matt Fort where he could run and receive and do everything for you. But just give it to Matt. He'll take care of it. Oh, man.
Yeah. No, I'm old school. I remember Walter Payton doing everything.
Yeah, Sweetness. Yeah. Well, I remember, him. And before him, I wasn't really watching it then because I don't even know I was born when Gale played up there. But Gale, seeing the footage of Gale playing, he was a Bear. He fit that. He fit that mold. So kind of interesting. But Chipmunk said, nice to meet you, Dave, and see you again, Raj. He had to jump off, I think, to go check out some other things. So great to have you here.
All right, White Chipmunks, it was nice to meet you.
And then we got Mercy. He's also in the UK, so that's Adam there. So great to see you, my friends. We got a couple UK people in tonight.
Yeah.
It's a great evening. And then we got Gilbert, my buddy Eric out of Canada.
Oh.
He's a Packers fan.
Looks like that's all the time I have. Okay.
Right now he's making sack lunches because you guys have Dalton there. Yeah. So
yeah.
He's like, Green Bay, lock it up between Detroit and Chicago. Already doing. They're like, oh, we got this one locked down again. So, yeah. But I want to take a look here. So, I'm going to bring up, well, first we'll talk, you got the podcast. So, with the podcast, how did you get started with that? How long have you been doing it? What do you like to do with it type thing to share with everybody here?
I started it last February. So, it was right before the pandemic. And I think in a lot of ways, like the two of us are similar that we're not beer insiders. We're, I'm just a regular guy. I don't work in a brewery. I don't do anything with the beer business, but I've always enjoyed craft beer. And sometimes, I just kind of got like frustrated with like seeing people talk about, their beer and comparing it to, oh, this one isn't as good as last year's and this one, this. And I'm like, just enjoy the beer that's in front of you. The beer that's in front of us, for the most part, is really good beer. And let's not knock something good in front of us because maybe another brewery down the street put out a better one. If what you're drinking's, a 4-star beer, it's a 4-star beer. So let's, enjoy what's in front of us. Maybe not chase as many check-ins and badges. And, there's plenty of old school beers that have lasted for 20, 30 years that, maybe we've forgotten about, but let's talk about them. Let's talk about the Sam Adams, or let's talk about like an Anchor Steam, beers like that. So I try to have each week like an old school beer that, maybe we haven't had in a few years. And, or if there's a beer that I think, oh, wow, this one's really good, this has potential to be a classic, then I'll talk about that. But I try to talk more old school beers. And then I'll also mention, which ones I've had during the week.
Got you. And then you also have like people on there that come on and talk about different things. Like I was on there last week, but you also have that part. But then you also have a little fun with the Jag-Off segment that you do on there as well, which is always kind of cool, picking up some of the Jag-Offs. I'm going to ask for some of your favorites later on, but that's kind of just
I have some.
Like the
and when I started it, I thought with the podcast, I would talk about beers. I'd be able to go to a brewery, talk with my friends, and then everything was kind of shut down. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, I could talk 30 minutes a week about beer until you hit record and you look and it's like, I only talked 8 minutes. Oh no, what am I going to do? So I had to fill up some time. So I didn't want it to be political. I just wanted to focus on beer, but things kind of snowballed. So, I'll just talk about like hypocrites, people that say one thing and do another, or people that just do stupid stuff. And there's a lot of them. So it's not hard to find a Jag-Off of the week.
No. So you kind of like stumbled into doing something like that as a part of it, and just it kind of stuck, and the people kind of look forward to it now. That's part of the entertainment feature. I think.
Exactly. Like, I just wanted to do beer. Like you mentioned our interview, that's only been recently, like the last month or so, I've been having more people on because, I enjoy that. I don't want to sit and talk to myself. Who wants to hear that? I'd rather talk to you. I've had people that have talked about bakeries. I talked to Rob from the Fat, Drunk, and Stupid show last week, and he was telling about his military career in the Beard Ale podcast. So I want to hear from different people from all over the country, all over the world, and just shoot the breeze and have a good time.
Yeah. And how'd you get what made you come up with the idea of doing the podcast? Was it just something you decided to do, or was it something you were inspired, or you just No, and all right, we're just going to keep this between the two of us. But up until the time I started, I never really listened to podcasts. I mean, I listen to some now, from my friends and that do the beer podcast. But
I never really did. So I don't know if it was more therapeutic for me to like get things off my chest. Um, it's just like, oh, let me try doing this. So, I did it. I wanted to stick it out for a little while to see, and the response has been good. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Nice, nice. And how long has it been now? You said you've been, because I know you said
Last
about
February. So
last
yeah, a
February, so
little
just
over a
over
year
a
now.
year now. Well, nice, congrats.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you.
Well, it's definitely catching on there. Let me I'm gonna pull up the site here.
Oh, don't pull up the site. My site is weak. Yeah, I don't really do much with the. I don't do much with it, and I just kind of run out of time. So it's just basic, and I'll put a beer review on there every now and then, and just like link to the latest episodes.
Well,
I do more on Twitter. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll get more from me out of Twitter.
Yeah, so on Twitter we have you there, Beer in Front, so people can hit that there as well. Yeah, I was gonna say you had that there, but I saw you did some of the beer reviews on here that you kind of pop some things on in and out.
Mm-hmm.
But here you also have the different podcasts, so people can check out the different spots: Anchor, Breaker, Apple. I mean, just like me, you're on a lot of different things. Spotify.
Yeah, I
Stitcher.
think it's on Amazon now too, as well.
Yeah, Amazon. The Amazon Music's another one, I'm sure. Yeah, so podcasts are there. But what was I looking at earlier? Oh, I know I was looking at the beer scores. That was interesting.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I put like just a link to everything that I had during the calendar year. I don't know if people want to really looked at it. I haven't had a lot of feedback on it, so I don't know if I want to post every Untapped score that I put out every week. So just kind of tinkering with it to see, what sticks, what doesn't, what people like, what people don't.
well, you have a lot of tracking on there. Because I have them on Untapped because I'm on there, but I never thought to put them in a spreadsheet. So this is kind of interesting. So
Well, that
it's
actually
kind of
is from Untapped.
So you just did export
on
from it.
Yeah, I just exported. So that's everything from Untapped, and then I just, kind of just took out some of the things that didn't apply and just, put it on a spreadsheet.
Did not know you can do that. One of the ones I saw in here is interesting. Three Floyds Brewing, the oatmeal stout, Black is Beautiful.
Yes.
I saw you got to go 4.25 on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your feeling around that beer, I guess, before I say what I was thinking there? Because I had that one as well, and it was totally not what I was expecting with it.
From that specific one from Three Floyds?
Yeah, that one from Three Floyds, yeah.
It was hoppier, which is, Three Floyds.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was a decent beer. It wasn't a horrible beer.
Yeah.
But I liked some of the other ones more than I liked that one. But that, if you were to hand me that right now, I wouldn't turn it down. It was still an excellent beer.
Yeah. Yeah. And the beer was a good beer. I'm definitely not saying it wasn't a good beer, but I felt like they had it out there as an oatmeal stout. And to me, it was more of a black IPA. And one of my other the same thing. I thought you didn't really get the feel of it from the oatmeal stouts that I've had come across that way. If they would have said a black IPA, I would have liked it a lot more, I think. I mean, I still would drink it. Like you said, if someone handed it to me, I'm going to drink it. It's still a good beer. But I just felt like it was mispitched, so to speak, out there for what it was. But that was just my feel on it as well. Because one of my friends, he wanted me to see what I thought of it because before he told me what he thought, because he thought the same thing, that it was more like a black IPA than it did an oatmeal stout. So just kind of curious.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm a huge black IPA fan. I'm glad they're starting to come back. But, maybe we would have thought more of it if you said this is a black IPA.
Yeah.
As opposed to, here's an oatmeal stout. Maybe that would have changed our perception on it because I love a good black IPA.
Yeah. I mean, when I first had it, like you mentioned the hoppiness, like I got that coming right out of it with the hops and that stuff. And I'm like, this isn't usually an oatmeal stout kickoff. He said, well, maybe it's a tropical stout type angle. Though when I got into the body and the breakdown of the beer, it definitely felt more of that pale ale to me than it did the stout. So,
yeah.
But, we pick up different things as we drink them. But I was kind of curious. I just saw that there when I was going down the list here. But that black stout from Brooklyn, freaking awesome beer there.
Yeah. You kind of broke up a little bit there.
Let me see. Give me one second. My mic. You hear me now? All right.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just I'm using this voice meter. Sometimes it goes crazy. But there's Hot
Yeah,
Butchery.
the Brooklyn.
The blazed orange there.
Yeah, the Brooklyn I love.
Yeah. Well, you can't go wrong. Garrett Oliver they make some good beers up there that he,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
I have
But
to find. I have his book, and I don't know where his book is at. I have his. It's like a cookbook that Garrett did, and I have to find it. I bought it 15, 16 years ago, and I have to find out where it's at. It's probably in a
Yeah.
storage unit somewhere. But that was a really good book.
Yeah. I saw a picture on Twitter a few weeks ago, and it was Garrett Oliver with Michael Jackson, and then the guys from overseas. Oh, I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
but
Pierre Sellis.
Yeah, Peter Sellers, and then somebody else was there. And I'm thinking, just to sit at that table, just listen. Don't even talk. Just sit there and listen. You would soak in so much knowledge.
Be a fly on the wall there.
Yeah. You're probably debating what's better, Bud Light or Miller Lite, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also hello to Chad says you got the Sterling Street Brewery's double LP Belgian double. Nice. I always like a nice Belgian now. You a big fan of Belgians?
Yes, I am. Hello, Chad.
Gilbert's.
I have a dog here that wants to go out. Yes.
Gilbert's already giving me a little bit of grief. Thought it was like a third stringer, eh?
We don't have a second stringer.
Yeah.
Dalton's going to start. Yeah.
Oh, and then Chad said, what's a good black IPA? Well, I know we have some of our local people that do some stuff, but as far as like national, like Stone just came back with their Subliminally Self-Righteous, which is actually a pretty decent one, and people were clamoring for that to come back out. That's probably the biggest one I've seen out there right now. But
I don't know Chad. Where's Chad from?
Yeah, Chad, where are you from, Chad? And but I can't think of trying to think of any other big national ones come out, because everyone I've seen here in Cincinnati has been more the regional type breweries that are doing stuff.
Lagunitas put out one-offs for a while that was called Nighttime, and that was a really good black IPA. Now I haven't seen that in a long time, but Lagunitas Nighttime was excellent. If you're in the Midwest, or Anger is brewed by Greenbush in Michigan. That's one of my favorite black IPAs. If you ever see Greenbush Anger, that's terrific.
That's pretty good too. Okay.
I'm not sure where Chad is from.
And then Jules and Al's Robert. What's going on, Jules? Good to see you, my friend. Definitely been a while. Yeah, let's see. So we got that there. And as far as like beer styles, like what are some of your favorite beer styles you like to enjoy? Or even your least favorite?
I'm talking here about the Italian Pilsner. I love the Italian Pilsner. I still love a good crisp pale ale. I'm a big fan of Vienna lagers. That's a style that, doing the podcast and trying to broaden my horizons more, that's one I really appreciate. A good Vienna lager, like Italian Pilsners. Yeah, I'm still down for just, a good solid pale ale. That's, if I could pick one to have, I would have that. Comes once the weather warms up, maybe do some more just regular classic Pilsners. You could sit outside, you could have a few of them, not get, too messed up, enjoy more than one. And I'm a big fan of, the barrel-aged stouts. But, come summertime, you're not going to have 3 or 4 of those in an afternoon.
Well, you would think you would, but let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I've had 3 or 4, but I may have had 1 or 2 at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, we're talking buddies of mine. We've been saving up throughout the whole pandemic. So we each have a big basket full, we'll buy our barrel-aged stuff and we'll tuck them off to the side. And we're saying we're going to get together. But at this point, it has to be a weekend. There's no way we're going to kill all this in one day.
Yeah, that's like me. I've got a good amount of like bombers that, those will take some off for you if you drink those in the summer with some of the big barrel aged stuff. But got to drink them at some
Now,
point.
by you, you mentioned bombers. Are bombers still, pretty popular? Where here they kind of seem to go out of fashion for a while.
They're popular for the special release type stuff, I guess you could say. I had one, the review I just did recently, like the Sam Adams barrel aged double box that they provided. That was a 22-ounce bottle of that. Some of the Lagunitas stuff, they've done nice going to 4-packs with some of their stuff, which is nice. Like the last Willati stout, for the first time I saw, was in 4-packs rather than getting a bomber. So I think they realized that on their end. But like Epic, I get Epic and their series, the Big Bad Baptist series, and those are all bombers. So those are kind of things you see out there. Some of the specialty ones, I at one point was a part of the Rare Beer Club, so I had beer sent to me that they would send it in bombers. So it just depends. Like more of the unique type stuff, I think you see a little bit more you're okay with. A couple of our local places, they kind of do that with some of their stuff. But I think, like you were saying, there's a lot more that are now going to the bottles or the cans even. Like the pint can is becoming more of a thing now, I think, with a lot of people. You still get the 6-pack of cans, but I see a lot more of the Imperial Styles, the double IPA, some of the other ones going to like that can. Or even, as I mentioned on the podcast I released yesterday, a piece that I read talked about crowlers. Crowlers have become more popular now. So you get a crowler, which is a 2-ounce can. You don't have to drink like a growler of 64-ounce, plus a crowler, depending who it is. I've talked to some breweries, and they said you can hold that in a can up to 3 months. A lot of people like to try to drink them within a month or so. But if you get a growler, you're usually knocking that out within a week or so. And if you don't have anybody around drinking with you, that 64 ounce, and that's going to weigh on you. And as people are more health conscious stuff nowadays, you're kind of like, do you really want that big size thing? So I think the crowlers are neat, because I've even seen like 3-packs now where they have the 3-pack carriers for the crowlers that people will pick those up. Wow. And so it seems to be becoming more comfortable with those as well. So, if I'm all about, whatever access they go with. Like I said, I have like 5 or 6 different growlers around here I never even use. Like it's just, they stock the shelves now, basically. And I've got a couple of insulated ones, but unless I'm going out somewhere where I want to put it in there, you can get the pressurized ones that'll keep good. If you're going on camping or something like that and everything, I guess you could probably use those, but it's just not as much of a thing for it now. It's almost like I feel like the growlers are on their way kind of going to pet rock, it's kind of fading out now. Yeah. So, you don't see as many people wanting to get those. Well, get the smaller versions.
Yeah, and especially now with like here with the pandemic, like before you could bring your growler in and they would, fill it for you. Now with social distancing and everything else, if you were to buy a growler, you just have to grab a new growler. So I haven't been grabbing a lot this year just because I don't need 20 growlers in my house.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, there's no space on anymore. I was like, why don't you get rid of those growlers? Hey, don't throw them out. I'm not using them, but don't throw them out. Yeah, they may come back. But we'll get some places, like some of our places, like breweries or some of our stores, we get growler refills at gas stations here. You can get them at like convenience stores. You get them all kinds of places. And occasionally you'll come across something that'll be like, a growler of some beer, $8. And you're like, well, hell, if I drink half of it, it's still worth it. It was like one of those great beers they decided to do because they got to get rid of the kegs or whatever, possibly. So, just in case. But I've even seen some of those stores having less taps being filled now. So you're not even taking them in and getting refilled as much. So, it's like anything, it goes through phases, I'm sure. So we'll see. Yeah. Like if you were going to go to summer barbecue or something like that, you pick up a couple of growlers, you can take one there and people can just, drink off of them.
Yeah. Do you have any places by you? And I was reading a couple of weeks ago that with the can shortage, they're getting rid of them. But like I've seen some barrel aged things in the 8-ounce cans. Have you had any of those by you?
I haven't had any of the barrel aged stuff in 8-ounce cans. There have been some alcohols I've seen where they've kind of went to, I want to say like a 10-ounce or a 10.5. Like Southern Tier does it with their Imperial, whatever it is, like a 9-ounce, it's a 9 ABV or 10 ABV type drink, and you'll see them sometimes in a can in between that 8 to 12 size or whatever. But I haven't really outside of that. I haven't really seen anybody going to anything smaller. Now we do have some breweries that will do like the half size, like you can get 8-ounce servings versus a 16. They'll go to half and stuff like that. We have one spot, at least I know of one, where you actually pour your own drafts too, which is kind of cool. So you go in there, you get a card, you got a bracelet, you go over, get how much you want. You know, if you want to sample stuff, you take an ounce of this and that, and it just kind of builds you all through your card at the end of the night. So it's pretty cool. The people don't have to wait in line. They can just go up there and get beers.
And then what, they charge you by the ounce or for whatever you pour?
They charge like by the ounce and stuff at the end. So yeah, so you like I guess I haven't used it, but I think they take your card and somehow tie it to whatever bracelet or whatever they give you, and then when you go up to pour it, it records it for you. So yeah. But and I think at a certain level you can't do it. Like if you have like 32 ounces within an hour, I think it cuts you off or something. Like you have to wait a certain amount of time before you go again. Because otherwise, you'd be getting people get annihilated in there. They wouldn't remember what they were getting, right? They would just keep pouring and pouring. So there is a cutoff type valve that they actually do as well. But
that's kind of weird. Like I'm sure it's the same way all over. But all right, I'll buy this round. So you buy a round for your buddies. Well, you'll go through 32 ounces like that.
Yeah, that might be something you want to order from the bar, so they know. Like, that's separate. Yeah, that's all work for me.
Yeah.
And then Chad said he's actually from Massachusetts.
Oh, hello, Chad from Massachusetts. Yeah, if you ever see Anger from Greenbush, Chad, that's a killer black IPA. That's one of my favorites.
And I think Chad told me he's from Massachusetts. I just couldn't remember there. But Julia never had a black IPA detail. And really, the only difference in a black IPA is you're going with dark malts versus the light malts. You're still doing everything the way of the IPA. You're still doing the hops, but you're using dark malts. So you get a little bit, sometimes more of a coffee or a roastiness with it that you would, like if it was a stout or a porter versus what you would get if you were using lighter malts. So it has a little bit different feel. So if someone that's like a fan of pale ales and stouts, it's kind of a winning combination for them because they kind of get a little bit of each in that. Let me see. Gilbert said, I've not had a black IPA. Yeah, because there wasn't a lot of people actually doing it, but now we have more people starting to do them, so which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's trends. Everything. It was popular for a while. No one bought them. Now they're popular again.
Yeah, and it started to come back again. And Vanessa, she's up in Connecticut, our friend here as well. So great to see you as well, Vanessa. And Vanessa, I don't know if I told you or not. Me and Vanessa will talk Oreos at times on different Oreo type stuff. Right. And they came out with the pink donut Oreo. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I saw that. Somebody put it on Twitter today, like strawberry donut one.
Yeah, I got that maybe 2 or 3 times already since it's been out. Now it's gone. I'm glad it's gone. It was a limited edition because every time it was in the store, I kept buying it again. That might be my favorite Oreo combination. It was the chocolate marshmallow. Which I still like. The chocolate marshmallow was pretty good, but this pink donut is like crack. It's like really addicting. So I think I did tell Vanessa because she was going to see if she could try to find them. But I went to Kroger this past weekend, and thank God there were no more left because I would have bought another pack. Because when they say it's limited, you only have a certain amount of time to actually get it. They build the hype in Oreos just like they do with the beers. What's going on, Steve? Cheers, my friend. Steve's also over in the UK. Hope you guys are okay. Thought I popped in. Great to see you, my friend. Vanessa says, yes, I will. Dragon's Milk gets the fence post dog. So she's a big Dragon's Milk fan. She loves Dragon's Milk. And the 4 Extra Stout from Guinness, which is awesome.
Okay.
And then Julie was saying hi to Vanessa. And then we had Chad said, what are the most unique beer or craziest beer you enjoy? It's a good question. What would you say was probably the most unique beer style you've had?
I don't know. Probably one. I'm not a big spicy pepper fan, but Pipeworks had one called Imperial End of Days. And I think I've only had this twice. And the heat on this was excellent. It almost like at first you tasted there was a sweetness to it. And then, you put it down and it's like, oh, hello there. That was excellent. As far as some of these, milkshake ones, not my thing. Not saying they're bad. they're not my thing. I was talking on the Beard Ale podcast, and she did one. It was like a peanut butter and jelly marshmallow. I'm like, that's just a lot of stuff going on there. It's like, you're going through your cabinet and seeing what you have a little bit left of each and just pouring it in there and making a beer. So, I'm more of a traditionalist, but yeah, that Imperial End of Days from Pipeworks, that was, for me, killer.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to say, as far as crazy as beer, one of the beer festivals I went to a few years ago, and I've had a couple since then, actually was one done with bacon and maple syrup. And it was actually one that was just, and I never thought I would ever say it, but it was almost like too much bacon. It was like, how do you have too much? It's like, they just kind of ruined it because they kind of overdid it with it. I'm like, how can you mess this up? But I've had other bacon beers that were good. And it was probably the bacon and the maple, the way it had come together, it just didn't work as much. But one of the most unique styles that I'm really into now, the more I'm having it. In fact, I just found out the brewery came out with another one. So I'm going to probably make a run this weekend to pick up the other one if I can get it, is the Rausch beer. Because I love the smoking. I love the smokiness of that style. So Schlenkerla is probably the best one or best well-known. I mean, that's what they do is Rausch beers from over in Germany. And I had the one that was the Weizen the last time. And then the first time I had was Oak one, which was really nice. They got a Marzen. They've got another one. I can't remember when it just came out. Was another type of one they did with the smoke. I saw it was actually M from Pints and Panels that posted on Twitter. And it's like, that's it. I'm going back to get me some more. But that whole feel of the smokiness of it, it kind of just, I don't know, it's interesting. Have you had a Rausch beer before?
Actually, we were talking Dovetail. Dovetail makes a really good one. So once we're done, let me get your address. I'll send you some Dovetail stuff. But no, they do one that you'll really like. So I'll hook you up with one of the Dovetails.
Okay. And it's just like that, I don't know, kind of the outdoorsy type feel you get from that smoke and like that smoldering campfire type feel or so that I pick up. So that's probably one of the more unique styles that I've actually had. And I'm glad that I'm able to find them that are doing it and the other breweries I wish more would start doing it. But like you said, Dovetail's got something they're doing there. So it's just awesome.
You know what? And I want to go back to this because when you were mentioning the bacon, I was at a place in Indianapolis, Flat 12, which was a really cool.
Oh, I know Flat 12.
We were there. My buddies and I were there we would go to the NCAA basketball tournament. We went for 25 years, and we would go to the Sweet 16. Like a couple of years, we went to the Final Four, but we would usually, the Sweet 16 is an easier ticket to get. So we went to Indianapolis, and we went to Flat 12, and they had, I think it was called Easter Ham, and it was a ham beer, but it had all of the flavors that you would have in a ham, like the cloves and everything.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I don't know if I would, do a growler of it. And there was also a beer I had in Michigan that was made with asparagus. And that was like, even the bartender was like, let me just pour you a sample. Don't waste a pint on this. And literally, you're drinking, it's like, no, this is asparagus.
You see, sometimes I just think some of these brewers just get bored and just start throwing stuff in there. There's got to be a line where you draw it at some point. You have to stop at some level. You just can't throw everything into the tank and see how it works out.
Yeah, but there'll always be clowns like me that are like, oh, asparagus, let's try it.
Yeah. Oh, hot wings beer? I'm in, yeah. Yeah, Vanessa says she has a 64, 32, and 16 in hydro flask. So Vanessa's always prepared. Oh, she says you must buy their 1
gallon. Yeah, I have a 64 hydro flask.
Yeah. But Vanessa said Oreo Scout in tomorrow. She said the chocolate marshmallow is tasty. It is tasty. So no chocolate mint. We do have the chocolate mint, but I didn't pick those up. But they are here now as well. So,
what did you guys, both you and Vanessa, what did you guys think of the Lady Gaga ones?
They were. I did get one to pack at Lady Gaga, and they were okay. I mean, it was just there, just like, I'll give it a shot, see what it tastes like. And they had like two different, I think, versions of it, but the one I got was kind of okay. I didn't get they got the caramel coconut ones, I think, now too. I haven't gotten those, but I'm not a big coconut fan unless it's in my beer. For some reason, coconut and beer I'm fine with. Any other form, no, I don't want to touch it. So,
all right.
And they have a double chocolate Oreo, I think, too, right now as well. So for people that like chocolate, you're getting double bursts of that too. So Oreo always has something going on, it seems. They're as bad as the craft breweries at points. They just throw stuff in there and see what it's going to do. Let's test this one out. All right, let's put it out there.
You just don't have like people lined up around the block to go buy them on release day.
Yeah, and they had the carrot cake Oreo out too, and it's like, I'm not a carrot cake fan.
Oh,
so
that was excellent.
You like that one now, so you're a carrot cake fan.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Actually, my wife and our wedding cake was a carrot cake, so I'm a huge carrot cake fan.
And I think they had, I believe in the past they had the red velvet too that were pretty good. So yeah. And I'm a red velvet type person. So
okay,
what's going on, Tremaine? Cheers, my friend. Good to see you, brother.
Hello, Tremaine.
And we got Chester in the house. What's going on? I picked up some smoked Vienna sausage, aromas, and Negra Modelo. Really? I haven't had a Negra Modelo in a while.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever got the sausage out of it that I can remember. And I was wondering, like, maybe did you have it like at a place where maybe you were cooking stuff, or it was just in the air, maybe? Because sometimes other things can interact with it as well.
I'm going to have to pick up some to try it again.
I'll try it, right? How about a beef beer?
Yeah.
Never heard of that. Actually, I haven't, technically not a beef beer, but I do know there's beers that were done with Rocky Mountain oysters. So
yes,
that's a
like
more
stout beer.
Yeah. So they've done those as well. I don't know if I'm going to do a ball beer, but for those that don't know what Rocky Mountain oysters are, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally are breaking balls on that one. But yeah, so let's see. So as far as like, we talked about the styles and stuff. We talked about a few of the beers, but are there kind of some of your favorite beers you actually have out there that you actually look forward to or enjoy? Like right now, for instance, next week it'll probably be, I think it's next week when it comes out. Usually like in the beginning of spring, I'll pick up like just a 6-pack of Oberon, just because to me that says spring from Bell's, and I'm kind of used to doing that every year. But are there any like favorite beers you have, things like that?
Yeah, Oberon's always class. I think they had next week. I thought I read that that's coming out. I think you're going to see my dog's head pop up here in a second because my dog wants to be part of the show.
Yeah.
One that I had that it'll be done with soon is one of my favorites from Great Lakes. They're Conway's Irish Red. That's one of my favorite beers. I love having that, every year around springtime for St. Patrick's Day. I have one left that I'm going to have tomorrow. The Goose Island barrel-aged stouts are tremendous, but Revolution, I think, is really up their game with their barrel-aged plan. I'm going to have one a little bit later. Their Death Star series, they have a coffee that is phenomenal. Their cherry, they do different ones in rye whiskey barrels. Those are always at the top of my list.
Nice. Well, with the Goose Island, are you
and
one that like?
Think what else? Know what? I didn't. You broke up.
Okay, so with the Goose Island, is that what you try to pick up each year? Like, are you out there in line on Black Friday or trying to locate Goose Islands?
If it falls in my lap, I don't wait in lines anymore. I'm too old for waiting in lines. And generally speaking, the last couple years, they've done like a lottery system, and I've hit the lottery. So like 2 years ago when things were normal, they had their big prop day. So I was down there at the brewery for that. Just a couple months ago, it was all done at the United Center where the Bulls and Blackhawks play, and you won, but you were just able to drive your car. They popped you popped the trunk and they put it in. their stuff is fantastic, but lately, the Revolution Barrel Age series is just top notch. So
Yeah.
those I will definitely pick up whenever they put it out, whatever style, it's in the cart.
Nice. Well, I feel like there's a good amount of breweries that have definitely caught up with Goose Island as well. Goose Island stuff is still good, but you can find some other stuff out there just as good, and maybe keep a little more dollars in your pocket, or so to speak. But it's I'm not one to wait in line either. Like, I know places may have. If I go and it's there, I may pick it up, but if not, I'm not going to worry about it, type thing. Because there are so many good beers that are out now, and so many people are doing the bourbon styles, the bourbon barrel aged styles. So,
and it's actually like so much of the Goose gets put out there, and they even put it out now at our big grocery store. You mentioned Kroger. Ours is called Jewel, and they release them at the grocery store. And last summer, the one they put out the year before, my buddy texts me. He's like, "These are here for $3 a bottle." I'm like, "Just grab as many as you can." And it's an excellent beer. It's going to age well. It's not like you're drinking an IPA that you want to drink fresh. So I have a case of that coming from a buddy of mine, the coffee one from last year. Like $3 a bottle. Sign me up.
Here on the channel, we call that a Rod J deal, because I usually find stuff like that. So good for you for getting a Rod J deal.
Yeah. I'll have to remember that and tag you next time when I'm tweeting out the deals.
Yeah, whenever you find a deal like that. Yeah, it's funny. It's yeah, that's how I like. How much? What are there? Okay, just grab them all. Just get what you can.
Yeah. Just fill up the cart. I'll send you the money. Don't worry about it.
Even in the store, like, you see something, you walk up to the rest. Can you tell me how much this actually is? And they're like, "Oh, it's $2.99." Okay, just check in, go back up, take the rest of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was funny. Like, we were just talking about the Conway's Irish Ale. A buddy of mine, they had that grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he found it at his grocery store for $2.99 a 6-pack. So I'm like, and I was at work. I'm like, I don't want to tweet it now. So I go to my grocery store, and it was the same $9.99. But I told him, you should have just bought all of it.
$2.99 a 6-pack is what kind of is he going to Jewel too? Like,
he does, but maybe it was just his and it was mismarked or something. But I would have bought every case they had
for $2.99. Yeah, I would have. Yeah. That's a great Irish ale too. So,
yeah.
See, people watching. I'm not the only one that gets deals around here. So,
no.
The right spot at the right time.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to crack open another beer here. So this one is going to be another one from Hop Butcher, and this is going to be the Double Grid.
Oh, yeah, so that was really good.
Yeah, this is going to be one that'll be coming up on a review that I'll be sharing with everybody. It's already done. I just haven't released it yet. But this is a 7.5 double IPA.
And the one I'm going to pop open now, this is from Revolution and Half Acre. This is their On and On Part 1. This is an Imperial Rye Porter aged in bourbon barrels, and this is a 14%er.
Ooh, very nice.
That's just an awesome aroma.
Double Grid. And let's take a look here. Smokiness is a relative turnaround. You can associate many things. LOL, you can. But it's got the smokiness in the Rouse beer. I've heard the craziest association. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, in craft beer, people are just throwing stuff in the tank at this point.
Yeah.
If you see a beer called Old Shoe IPA, they may have actually used an old shoe in it.
It wouldn't surprise me. And then they'll have the barrel aged old shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cappy's and Wyman's are the two biggest liquor stores in my area, although there are so many smaller liquor. Yeah. I like going to the local, like little small independent ones because they sometimes get some of the stuff that you're not going to get in the bigger stores. A lot of times, what I found, at least here in Cincinnati, and I don't know if it's the same up there where you're at, because I know up there where you're, the big one is Benny's. Benny's is huge in Chicago.
Correct.
For a lot of people there. And so for us, we have like Jungle Gyms or the Party Source, which get a good amount of beer. Jungle Gyms is actually one of the top 5 places to buy beer, they say, in the country. So if you ever come into Cincinnati, Jungle Gyms is where I'll take you to see, and it'll be like glorious. It'll just be like, you'll walk in and it'll be like going to church or something. The angels will fly out. I mean, you could be in there all day long.
Now,
That's
like
how
when
good
you were on, when you were on my show, you said like they have a hot sauce section there too.
they have a hot sauce section bigger than some people's offices. So literally, this hot sauce section has like probably 5 or 6 rows. And it's not even all the hot sauces in it. Like the hot sauce is over here, but there's still some over here that are kind of lingering. Like, yeah, we're like the hot sauce JV, you know. We're not the varsity, but we're JV,
right.
you know. And you got all these different ones because it's an international market, so they get hot sauces from all around the world. And it's just like literally people being there for a certain time trying to figure out which hot sauce to get. Looking, oh, this is Szechuan, or this is this, or this is this, and this is from India, and this has curry and blah blah blah. It's like your mind gets blown away. I mean, for people that are hot sauce connoisseurs, that's like us going to the craft beer section. They would just be overwhelmed. Like literally, like you almost have to step back. And the cool thing about the beer section, right now, it's been slowed over the last year because of COVID, but we have the taps and stuff there. But you can shop while you can drink while you're shopping. So some people will come there to get the taps, they'll sit down and have a couple of beers, like they'll go back and do shopping again. Like I said, you'll be there. It's an adult playground. You can be there all afternoon. So it's crazy. And then it's like people with the sweet tooth, they got a huge candy department. They got, if you like cigars, they got a great cigar area. They get these like seafood and stuff that they have for the seafood section. Like you'll go in, there'll be like a huge fish just in the display case. Like, how much do you want? Like of this fish, you know, they're cutting the fish up, and it's awesome. It's just like a great place to go. Like literally, you plan to go there for a few hours. Like going to IKEA if you're going to get furniture. Like you're going to be in this place for a couple hours.
All right,
so,
yeah.
Except unlike IKEA, you can't get through without having to follow through the whole store. So they don't make you go a certain route like IKEA. They make you go around a certain way unless you know where the shortcuts are.
Yeah, but it sounds like you need that big shopping bag like they give you at IKEA, that big blue shopping bag for all the stuff you're going to pick up there.
I literally walk in sometimes, like I want to get like 2 things, right? Because I'm going to do a beer show and I'm looking for 2 beers. And like a couple weeks ago, I was on with my buddy Dean from Dean's Beer Reviews over to UK, and we did the Westmill Trip Trap. So it was a combination of the Westmill double and triple to put together. Well, I knew Jungle Gyms would end up having it, so I'm gonna go in here and get these beers. Maybe I'll get a couple other things or whatever. No, I ended up leaving with the cart like almost half full of stuff. Like I don't even want to get this much more beer, but it's like I can't pass it up since I'm out here, right? So
yeah.
It's like, here we go. So you like you got a couple boxes. I need to carry this stuff out in, but awesome place. So if you ever get down here, that's definitely the place to go. Like we don't even have like a what's the one thing that people go to, the one big liquor store chain. I can't think of the name of it now because I know my buddy Todd has one down in Louisville. World of Beer. Shoot. Let me think. See if I can see it here on the internet. I'm trying to think of the beer store. It is almost like a Disney at supermarkets for real. But they have one in Louisville.
I think my dog wants to be part of this. Oh, no, she doesn't. She was like on my lap. I was ready to pick her up, but she's like, no. She's camera shy.
I'm trying to see what the chain is here. It's pretty big. I can't believe it slipped in my mind.
Yeah, 2 hot filters will do that for you.
Wine. It's total wine. So we don't even have one of those here because I think here with us having like Jungle Gyms, Party Source, we have another place called Party Town, which are all kind of big stores like that. And then we got a lot of independents. They wouldn't be. I don't think they would do as well because we have so many other great spots already here. But it's like, you know, Cincinnati. I did a video last year about it, but Cincinnati was voted 2nd year in a row #1 beer city for beer drinkers. because of the access to beer, because of the cost of beer, the price for beer, the locations of the beer. Like I said, one of the best spots I ever found, we were riding up to Columbus, right? So I said, we got to get gas before we head up. So I go to a BP. I'm putting gas in. I turn around the gas station, and it says craft beer cellar. I'm like, come on, at a gas station? Let me go in. I walk in, these doors open up, and it's like 5 or 6 rows of craft beer like I had not seen before from other parts of Ohio. So I'm like, I'm going to be there for a little bit. So I come out like a case of beer, thrown in the trunk. She's like, I thought you were just going to go check. Yeah, I had to buy stuff when I was in. So we have so much beer here. It is just crazy. But Jungle Jim's, awesome spot. Steve said, just try the dragon soup. Or do you guys have tried it? The dragon soup? Or is that the... I was like, maybe it's the dragon's milk, but it's not spelled that way. I've never had it. I don't know what that.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at that.
Let's see. And then Violent. What's going on, Violent? It's been a while. Cheers, my friend. Yeah. I feel like I black out when I go to bottle shops. Next thing I know, I'm walking out with 2 damn cases and mixed 4 packs and single. That's how it happens, right? Yeah. I come out like I've been accosted.
Yeah, I just say I'm running out for a couple minutes, and I come back with a box, and I just get the look like, a box. Yeah, it's a good deal. What are you gonna do?
Well, there's like some stores my wife won't even go with me. She's just like, well, when are you going to be back? Like, I'll be right back. She's like in a couple of hours, because you're not coming right back. Like, I know how you are when you get there. Or if we stop, like, we're going to pass something on the way home. Well, let me go run here real quick. You got 15 minutes. And I'm in there like his guy's grocery games trying to run around and find stuff in a certain time frame.
Yeah, just putting stuff. Yeah.
Oh man,
that's going to be me tomorrow. Allegedly, the stimulus check hits tomorrow. That'll be me. Yeah,
for people with stimulus, it's supposed to be in your. If you haven't gotten it already, some people got it this past weekend. I know in some spots, but can the other way. Tomorrow, it will actually be showing up in accounts. They're saying so.
Yeah, they say like the big banks. That was people that I called out earlier as jagoffs. The big banks, they were. Like my friend has a credit union. He had his money on Friday, but like PNC and your Chases, they're distributing it the 17th. I'm like, wait, you're collecting, you're getting all this interest for 5 days, and you're probably still charging people an overdraft fee. No. That's just wrong.
They definitely are for sure. Yeah. And some of the accounts they were talking about that, I guess some spots they made if debt collectors might be able to get your money anyway if you like overdue on something. So I don't know. It's crazy. The craziest thing I saw, it was earlier today, and it's really a sad story. It's a sad, angering story, really. But there was in Indianapolis a guy that ended up shooting 4 family members over the stimulus check. So he had dated, or he was married to this one woman. I guess they weren't together anymore. And he was basically coming over saying he needs to get half the money or something like that. And she was like, well, you don't get that. Like, I guess he wasn't really in the kid's life as much, whatever like that, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, I'll give you $450 or something out of it. And he's like, well, then the brother was there trying to stop him from messing with the sister. So he pulled the gun and just started shooting people. Shot the brother, the ex, the one of the kids, and then somebody else. And then had the nerve to come back in asking about the money again for people that were left there that weren't shot. And they're like, what are you talking about? We don't have, and the money hasn't been distributed, right? So they arrested him. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, people lose their mind over something like that. It was a sad story. So you'll probably see something out of Indianapolis. But for your Jagoff section, I'll go ahead and put him as an early player for Jagoff of the week.
There's actually a lot this week. There's a lot. I might have to put out another show. I might have to,
I'll throw in Ron Johnson.
He's on there. He's on the list.
Chad said, what's another good supermarket other than Jungle Jim's in your area? Well, as far as supermarket, Kroger's the one that kind of dominates our area. And they actually, depending on where you're at, they serve beer or sell beer in our Kroger. So on the Kentucky side, you can't serve beer and the liquor store has to be separate. So next to the Kroger store, we have the liquor store. But in Ohio, they can sell beer. And in some of them, they have taps and stuff in there as well, like Jungle Jim's does. So you can actually drink while you're shopping over there, and they get a lot better craft beer selection. But if I'm not at Jungle Gyms, I have the Party Source, like I said, Party Town, or I have independent shops. One of the cool things I actually did, I started mapping out things around town a couple years ago. So I had to keep like a Google map list. And when I find a nice little spot, I pop it on there. So when I'm like going around town, if I've got time, I'll say, where can I get some beer? And I'll hit that list and it'll say, oh, this one's only 5 miles from you, or this is 6 miles from you. And it's a good tool to have.
Yeah.
I'm never too far from
your
beer.
wife your wife has to be a saint.
Yeah. Yeah, she's she understands, she knows, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see here. And then Steve said, yeah, just like when he's going to the supermarket, hey, in the UK. Yeah. I mean, and they got like good bottle stores from what I've seen over there as well. I mean, I like how they do it in the UK versus most of our stores over now. So now we have more stores that have singles, but in the UK, a lot of them were already doing the singles, which makes it nice so you can try different things without, getting a 4-pack or a 6-pack, but you may pay a little bit more because you're doing single, but it still makes it nice that you can kind of branch it out that way.
Yeah.
Dragon Soup is the alcohol coffee drink. Might not get over there yet. Yeah, we don't have that over here that I've seen.
Yeah. Alcoholic caffeine drink. Oh,
yeah.
Sign me up for that.
Although I do have a review coming on the Pabst hard coffee. I finally did the review in that one. So that one was a lot interesting. That was different than I thought it was going to be. Have you had the Pabst hard coffee? It's like a 5% ABV.
You broke up. I didn't hear anything that you just said.
You didn't hear anything at all there? Let me see.
After the dragon soup, you kind of, all right, now I can hear you fine now.
Okay. So I got the Pabst Blue Ribbon hard coffee. Have you had that?
Okay. No, I have not had that. I've seen it, and I've always been like afraid to pull the trigger on that. So no, I have not had that one yet. I hear it's decent.
It's better than I thought it was going to be. I had friends that told me it was actually decent. And I was like, is it though? Like, but that was one of the things at Kroger they had like for $8.99 for a 4-pack. And I was like, oh, I'll go and get it. It's not going to get any lower than that. So I might as well give it a try. But I like coffee, and surprisingly, it was pretty good. So if you like frappuccinos, things like that, you would enjoy this, I think. So
I'll pick it up. But yeah, with like my coffee, I'm kind of like my beer. I'm just old school. Just give me coffee flavored coffee. Just give me, beer flavored beer sometimes. But even like you walk down a liquor store and you go to you look at the vodka section. That's like 31 flavors. I'm like, what happened to just vodka? Every vodka has to have like a flavor now. So yeah, I'm more like old school when it comes to coffee. I just want coffee flavored coffee, but I'll probably try the Pabst just to try it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not. And I thought, well, maybe I'll add a cordial to it, like an Irish Bailey or a Bailey's Irish Cream, or we have found a tequila that was a chocolate type tequila, chocolate coffee type tequila. Mm-hmm. I think it's I want to say Cafe Negra. It was one that we found. We went to one of the spots and I had a couple of guys in a couple of years ago, and you take a nice cordial, you add it to it, gives it a little bit more of that alcohol boost, and it could be a nice little one to have at brunch or something. But if you like frappuccinos, I think you would like the taste of that one there.
All right. Well, I'll give it a whirl.
And Violet said it's gotten to the point that my fiance started following certain bottle shops on Instagram, so she's an idea of what I'm talking about. Ask her to do my dirty work while I'm at work sometimes. There you go. I was scouted out for you. I like that. That's a good idea. I have a few buddies who get a kick out of their wives surprising them sometimes when they surprise them. Oh, I saw this beer. I thought I'd bring it home to you. And it's like a beer they haven't had. Is just like, there's like, they're going crazy like, you're feeding a puppy or something. Like, it's like, oh, this is great, Yeah. We all like surprise beers for sure. Let me see.
Yes.
All right. So this was a question I had for you as well. And this is goes to both of our roots because I actually grew up.
You're laughing ahead of time. I'm afraid.
I grew up in New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey, so New York pizza or Chicago style pizza.
Put that question down. There's no, dude, get out of here. Chicago, but now see, here's the thing. Everyone associates Chicago style pizza with this big, thick,
Right.
deep dish casserole. But most people, Chicagoans, our pizza is wafer thin and it's crispy. Not like New York where you like fold it and the grease drips down you. No, Chicago style pizza is super crispy and thin. Locals will eat that. The real thick casserole stuff, that's for the tourists. It's good. I'll eat it, but it's for the tourists. Yeah.
But see, you got to be able to fold a pizza. That grease dripping down is the best part of it.
No, it's not.
I've had both. I can enjoy either at a certain point, but one of my favorite places in Chicago to actually go to whenever I'm in, and I'm sure you've probably been there, but it's the Exchequer. Have you been to Exchequer downtown? Exchequer Pizza and Pub. Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic restaurant, and they got like the reason I like going there is because if I can't get to all the breweries, they do a really good tap selection of beers around the city. And the portions are like crazy because like in Chicago, when they give you portions, It's like, as you get close to winter, you got to start storing up, right? So it's like, last time I was there, one of the guys I usually watches the channel, he's not here tonight, but James, we met up when I was up there. We went over there and we got stuff, and like the guy sitting next to us, he ordered ribs. So he ordered ribs, and these ribs were like hanging off the plate. And then he got like potatoes with it, not realize how big the ribs were going to be. He's like, I don't know if I can eat all of it. Like they give you like the Fred Flintstone type portions there, but a great restaurant, always nice. And when I think about it too, it's the old architecture. When you walk in there, you got the old pictures, the Italian pictures, all that stuff on the wall. Kind of like you feel like you're walking back into a little bit of the Capone type days with some of the stuff that you see around. And I'm surprised you haven't been there before. If you're ever downtown, that's like one of the cool spots to go to. And I think when we were there,
Exchequer
is EXCHEQUER, I believe. Let me see. I can probably pull it up here.
I will check it out.
Chicago. Yes, the Exchequer Restaurant and Pub. And it's actually, where are they at? They're over on Wabash, South Wabash Avenue. And I think when I was there last time, like
I'm pulling it up here too. I'll have to check it out.
The little city paper or whatever, like the Free City type thing, where they have like the little city news and stuff like that. I think they were voted like
the Red Eye and the Reader here.
Yeah, I think it was like Chicago's best pizza.
When I go in there, if I go in there, do I like mention your name? Do I get like a Rod J special?
Well, it's been a few years since I've been in. I wouldn't remember me, but you can try. I've posted stuff when they've commented for you.
All right, I'm going to do it. I'm dropping your name.
Yeah.
I'm a big name dropper, so I have no problem.
Oh, but it's very good.
All right, I see him right here. Oh, yeah, 226 South Wabash. All right. Yeah. I'll check him out.
So he said, right, guys, must love out to bed. Have a great stream, and happy St. Patrick's Day for tomorrow. You too, my friend. Thanks for joining.
You too, Steve. Is Steve on Twitter? I'll have to follow him. I don't think I follow Steve.
Steve's on YouTube. He's got the YouTube channel. I don't know if he's on Twitter. Right. He probably is, but if you catch him there, unless Steve's
I'll check him out. Steve's Brewing Channel. I'll hunt you down.
Yeah. And we got Jimmy in from Cuff and Stuff Barbecue. Cheers, my man. Beer Professor, what's up? I see you recovered from the pickles. Yeah, the pickles video I did was actually a while ago. I had it on the food channel, decided to bring it over to the beer channel. So I just posted a review earlier from the old smoky moonshine pickles, Dave, that I had posted. So
all right.
was interesting. I went for it just to see what it would taste like and stuff. And I like pickles, but it just wasn't. No, not to use a pun, but it kind of soured on me. So it just wasn't in the cards for me to fully enjoy it as much. But and the drinking of the moonshine after it's kind of mixed with that pickle juice just didn't go over as well. So, but they make some other good stuff. They make a nice apple pie moonshine and cherry moonshine, and it's a little bit less of with the regular moonshine because I'm in Kentucky, so. If I want white lightning, I can get white lightning, and this stuff is more the commercial version because there's white lightning you can actually get, and it'll be like your hair is growing in your chest.
Yeah.
As Steve said, he's actually on Instagram, so he's not on Twitter, but and then you're on Instagram as well.
All right,
so
yeah, I'm on Instagram. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. I'll check out Steve when we log off here. Good night, Steve.
Yeah. Night, my friend. But yeah, and then so we were talking about the Jagoffs a little bit, so like that. Again, if you guys haven't checked out Beer in Front podcast, I do have a link to the website at the top, but you can actually pull up Beer in Front on iTunes and Spotify and all the different servers that have it. One of the key sections that we have is the Jagoff sections, and the Jagoffs were basically your dumbasses of the week that have done something really, really stupid or irritating in some way. Am I correct there, Dave?
Oh yeah, there's a couple of them this week, and I want to get the guy's name right, so I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah,
I mean there was quite a few.
So,
I've got a couple of them, but I've got this guy queued up. He's ready to go.
But I was going to ask you, like, some of the Jagoffs that really bother you that you've come across. Like, are there memorable
the guy
ones
this week, and the guy. This was a high school girls basketball tournament. Now, this team was undefeated and going for the state championship. This is, hopefully not the greatest moment in their athletic lives, but this could be. And this guy, the women, the young girls, the women, they kneeled for the national anthem. God bless you. You kneel. And, he's called them words that he should not have called them. And of course, now all the focus, and the guy's name was Matt Rowan. And he blamed, after the fact, of course, he was let go, uproar. Yeah. He was blaming this on, I must have had a sugar spike from diabetes. You're a jagoff. One, you took away the focus of these girls. These are kids. They're 17, 18 years old. You took away their glory, their state championship. This, like I said, this could be the biggest athletic thing that's ever happened to these girls. And this on your show, but this jagoff just took away all the focus from these girls and put it on himself, and then can't even just say he's a racist. He's just going to say, well, it must have been my sugar spiking because I have diabetes. You're a jagoff.
Yeah. I saw that. I thought this has to be the worst Snickers commercial ever. Because you're low in sugar, you get a Snickers.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
and there were others, but that guy just really just annoyed me so much because it shouldn't be about you. It should be about these girls having an undefeated season. You're playing for your state championship. You won the state championship in what had to be a difficult year for these girls, with the pandemic and everything like this. And these girls should be celebrated for what they did on the court. But now this is always good. He's going to be in the background, and he's taking away the focus from these girls. So that really just pissed me off. He's by far the jagoff of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, he has some stiff competition this week as well, but
well, he does, but no, he's the leader in the clubhouse. He's right there, yeah.
Were there other people over the course of time that since you started doing it that have also stuck out, or was it like some people that really surprised you in some type of ways? Like,
yeah, with the whole previous administration, you know, they did things. Even our current administration, people shouldn't have had to wait this long to get their stimulus check when it was all pushed. You vote for Georgia, you're getting this money. Well, it's now, almost 2 months later, and people are finally starting to get the money. People shouldn't have had to wait for this money during a pandemic.
Yeah. Well, some people got put out.
Ted Cruz is always high on my list. And even with back to the stimulus check, I didn't lose a minute of pay. I didn't lose a minute of hours. Don't give it to me. Give it to the people that need it. But you keep dawdling and things like that. Just do it. You should have just done it or had a plan, and there was just no plan for this.
Yeah. True. Yeah,
I'm going to take the 1,400. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to take the 1,400 tomorrow, and I'm going to spend it. But you should have given it to, give the money to the people who are still out of work. But I guess giving it to everybody, help to stimulate the economy. I mean, the money's going to go, hopefully back into the economy as well.
Again, right? Yeah. So they spend it, and that gets other stuff going, and kind of creates a spark to the ignition, so to speak. But yeah, so I mean, there's definitely no lack of jagoffs that are out there for sure. I don't see it ever ending.
No,
being able to pull from a barrel.
Yeah.
It's funny. He was going in. I was watching the news earlier tonight, and I had posted on my Facebook page. We have a guy here in Cincinnati who was arrested for sexual assault on 2 girls. Like, he was like a coach on the team or whatever, but the one girl was like 12, another girl was 15 or 12. So he's basically in jail waiting to face sentencing. And they had the nerve of his lawyers asking him to get permission to attend his daughter's games. He's not supposed to be around any minors whatsoever. And like, we're watching this thing, like, dude, the nerve to think that you can actually ask something like that and be able to go out and do something. And my wife is like, apparently he's not afraid that these other girls' dads might be around, because if he came out there, I would think one of them would go after him. You know, so
yeah.
But yeah. You talk about a jagoff. That guy was definitely a jag, and he just sat there in court like trying to get permission. And then he wanted to go to one of his other daughter's college games, and it's like, oh, you're trying to go from high school to college now, I guess. No, you can't. Judge is like, no, you're staying where you're at.
He's going for the older women now. Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'll make it legal. I'll go for 18 plus.
Let him go and let the dads take care of business.
Yeah. I'm sure there might have been a couple of dads like, yeah, let him come to the game. He won't be coming back, but let him come to the game.
Yeah.
I find it pretty
I
entertaining.
got a seat for him. Yeah.
When you pick out those people, it definitely always sounds pretty interesting. So I do enjoy that segment of the podcast as well. Let me see here. And then I was going to ask you as well, so you've been doing this for like a year or anything now, but anything like you were surprised to learn from covering the beer industry, anything that kind of stuck out with you, or anything you kind of picked up from doing the different things you're doing around beer? I mean, maybe it's the fun, the camaraderie, the knowledge, whatever it may be.
I mentioned months and months ago that, my philosophy on life is like 75% of the people in the world are good people. Whatever you believe in, you're good people. But I think the beer industry, there's more than that. Most of the people that I've come across have been just really just decent people that I think that even more so they look out for each other. They're just solid people where, in some industries, I don't think so. I don't think, the beer industry is all just thinking about profit. They're looking to, help other people. I just think that I notice more just maybe it's just me and the people that I follow, maybe it's my view on life, but I just think that more people in the beer industry seem to be really good decent people, and I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a.
I mean, there's a
good amount
few, obviously, like anywhere in life. Yeah, there's going to be some exceptions to the rule, like, there is anywhere. But, most of the people that I've come across have been just fair, good, decent people that you would just want to sit and have a beer with or have a cigar with. Like, these are people that you would like to know.
Yeah. Yeah, you think about the beer, like, if not the beer industry, where? I mean, it's just like such a relaxing type thing. And you think about the idea of beer over the years, through the centuries, it's kind of been like that little thing there. People come together, they socialize around it, right? They talk. It's like there's been, wars fought when people were having beer and kind of working out negotiations and all kinds of different things. So you would think that that industry itself just makes it that much more understanding of the fun that you have with it and camaraderie. Now, there are some issues, and there are some breweries, we won't name names, but there are some that we've had issues with in the industry, but you're going to get that with everybody, right? But it feels like you definitely have
founders. I'll name them founders.
Yeah. You can do founders, you can do back turns, you can do some of the other ones, you can do boulevards, you can do
turns, yeah.
Blue Dog. They've had their, but overall, you look at this industry versus other industries, it's kind of like, I feel like there's definitely a higher warmth level than you see in some of the other industries out there. So, and it's quickly you become kind of a more of a community type family, I think, when you start to get more and more involved, that it's just becomes a cool thing. It's a great thing to be a part of. So I know the time that I've been involved, I've kind of picked that up and really enjoy. That's why I enjoy doing what I'm doing and talking about stuff and having you on here talking about the things you're talking about. And it's great that it's all working out for you there too.
Yeah. Well, and one thing, like, I want to plug that, I'm getting my second shot the last week of March. And I've reached out to quite a few people. I put it on Twitter and I put it on my podcast. And I've had some great feedback, and I've had some people like say, yeah, they're part of it. I'm asking other people, I'll talk about a classic beer that I love. And I put it out there. I want to hear from like other people and people from mostly the country, but I've had like women in Ireland that sent me a piece in like talking about like the beers that, they love. And it's like so cool to me that, the beer community, like these are some people that, I don't know them personally. I've never broken bread with them, but people, via Twitter, like, oh yeah, I want to be a part of this, and that's something like, this is really cool. I'm happy to be in my own little small part of, the beer world.
Why don't you, I was going to say, if you want to elaborate on that, because I'm going to send you a piece. I got to do it before, so you have time to edit it before you get your second shot. And everything. It was great that you got the first shot in. But let people know the piece you're doing about, us sending you stuff about one of our beers that we really like and what you're putting together.
Yeah, like, so, I'll talk about the beer that's in front of me, and I'll, talk about them a little bit. But I'm like, all right, I'm not going to do a show that week because from what I hear, the second shot's unpleasant. And both my wife and I are getting them we're getting them both a day apart. So I just figure it's just not going to be a good time to put out a show. So I'm like, well, let me just ask around. So, I put it out there on Twitter, on podcasts last week, and I want to hear from people. And I'm also reaching out to like some people because I want to hear from everyone. I just don't want to hear from guys that look like me about beer. I want to hear from different women. I want to hear from people of color. And the response has been really good. And like, I'm so excited and happy about this. I'm like more happy about this than anything I've done with the whole podcast, that people are on board and they want to talk about like the beer from their part of the country, their part of the world that, maybe you and I, we don't know about. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from, all these different people like, oh yeah, this beer is from my, part of the country, my part of the world. Check it out. And I'm definitely planning on checking all of them out as soon as possible.
Nice. Well, it's definitely a great thing there. And so, if you guys haven't picked up the Beer in Front podcast over on Twitter, make sure you pick it up there, or where Dave posts updates on it, or pick up the podcast. Once you pick up the podcast, subscribe, and it'll download the episodes, and you'll see when we do that and everything. But I'm going to be sending them one in of one of the favorite beers as well. Chester said, yeah, the whole Don Imus thing. Yeah, Don Imus was definitely a jag-off. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then,
he just died too, didn't he? Or no, it wasn't him. It was Rush Limbaugh, the other jag-off.
Yeah, Rusty. Yeah, the other jag-off. He said, I find the same thing in the barbecue community. Also, they're good people left in the world. Just because, the barbecue world. Jimmy does a lot of different cooking, but he also does stuff where he enjoys nice beers. But some of the guys that usually watch the channel that I've connected with, and I watch their stuff, like some of the people from the barbecue and the whiskey world, same type of thing. Very welcoming, bring you in, and you have questions about stuff, they're happy to answer. You're able to share different things, and it's just a nice knowledge. It's just people being people, It's kind of nice along those lines. So, like you said, we always say people are more alike than different. It's just people are projected so many different things to kind of twist their minds around. You have to be able to get through that clutter and stuff. So,
now I can go for some barbecue,
right? You watch some of the barbecue shows, like Jimmy. If you haven't cuff and stuff, he makes some great stuff on a grill. And I ended up getting a grill again. I used to have a grill. I got rid of it. I got another one a few months back. I'm starting to grill again, but I see some of the stuff that he does on his channel, and it's like, I got to try that and stuff. So, yeah, you want to see some good recipes? Check out Jimmy at
Cuff and Stuff. I'm going to jot this down as well.
Yeah, he put some great stuff together. It's just like you sit there at YouTube, you're drooling. You're drooling. Get that little Homer drool coming out of the mouth as you're watching.
I thought a guy that I work with, he's off during the week. We all, I work in the service industry for an airline, so we all have like goofy hours. We're not 9 to 5ers, but he was gonna, we were talking about like corned beef and stuff with St. Patrick's Day, and he's gonna smoke his corned beef. I'm like, oh, dude, you need to save me some of that. So that sounds really good.
Yeah, so St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. I know you're actually off. So any big plans, anything that you're planning to drink tomorrow?
No, I'll have the last of the Conways. Yeah. I'm going to make my corned beef. I'll do that in a couple beers. I put that in the crock pot. So I'll have that. Normally Wednesday's a day that I put my podcast out. So no huge plans. I'm going to have a Saison DuPont. Tomorrow is the Beer in Front. I wanted to go really old school and classic. But no, I'll have my corned beef dinner with some Conways in there.
Let me see here. Well, I've got one. One's kind of cheating because it's the Left Hand Nitro Stout, but they put it in the Irish can. They put it in sham. I'm like, technically, I've had this beer numerous times, but it does have the clover on it or whatever. But one of the other ones I actually got that I'm going to actually have tomorrow probably will be it's from Three Floyds, so not really too far from where you're at as well. It's called the Brian Brew. It's an Irish red ale, so 6.5% ABV. So I got that one there. I may pick up something else tomorrow. I thought about getting a Conway because I do like that. I might go old school. Maybe I get a Killian's. I haven't had Killian's in a long time.
Yeah,
that was one I used to really love back in the day.
Yeah,
Guinness is so easy.
Back in the day.
Yeah, a lot of people go Guinness, but I'm like Guinness is good. And I'm a big Guinness fan, more the foreign extra stout now than some of the other stuff, but it's still Guinness. But I feel like everybody goes to Guinness. Like I want to do something with other beers that people don't usually go to, right? So, if somebody hands me a Guinness, I'm always going to be fine with it. It's just with other stuff, like the nice Irish red ale. You don't see a lot of those out there anymore, so I like to get that. But, if I can't find anything else, it might be a grab.
Killian's.
Yeah.
Killian's, and I don't know if they still make it. I remember like Leinenkugel used to make a red ale that was always really good. I haven't had that in probably
the Big Red.
Years,
I think it was the Big Red. I believe.
Okay,
I think it was
called. Cut off.
I think it was called Big Red.
Yeah, they always used to do it.
Maybe
I don't know. The one that I remember was just like the red. They did a red ale. So, but it's been years, so maybe they don't even make it anymore.
let me see here. Unless I'm wrong, I thought it was bigger. It might be something different. Well, they had the red lager. Maybe it was something different then. Anyway, usually people go crazy for Lonnie Kugel's summer shandy now. That's like the big thing people go. I'm not a shandy person. That's the style I drink the least.
No.
And can't. That's the only one I've ever had drain poured at a bar. It was like the summer shandy.
Goose Island just put out theirs on the 12th. So what, like 4 days ago? They're doing a lemonade shandy. I mean, I'll try it, but yeah, it's not my thing.
The funny thing is, I can drink a Rattler and be fine, but just shandies just don't do it. They're too sweet. So a Rattler, nice crisp Rattler, when it's like starts to heat up, great easy drinker. Jimmy says, "Come on down, we're cooking Saturday." They're always cooking. Like, yeah, I know there's going to be some good stuff that are going to be on there as well. Are you going to be doing a live stream of the cooking, Jimmy, as well? So I like to check in and see what you're grilling there. But yeah, he puts up some great videos. Like I said, you get hungry watching a lot of stuff that he makes there.
If he's cooking Saturday, I might be sick. And have to come down and check it out. Yeah.
Jimmy does some good stuff on his channel. But I think we'll go ahead and kind of get it wrapped up here. I'm glad to have you on. It was a great time. Anything that you want to say in closing about the podcast or the blog or anything you're working on, anything? You can't hear me? Oh, this thing is messing up here.
Yeah, like all I heard was anything you want to, and like you're frozen on my screen right now. Yeah,
I mean, I upgraded the RAM on this thing, so I don't know what the hell's going on here. But anyway, I think it's like the voice meter.
It's probably my. Yeah.
But anything that you got going on that you would have mentioned was great. I said it was great having you on here. You already wrap it up, kind of. But anything you have coming you want to let people know about? Any other people you got coming onto the show for the podcast, and you know where you want them to tune in? Like I know I mentioned Apple and Spotify, and I showed the stuff out there. But you know anything you want to put in closing?
In closing, dude, Rod, I want to thank you for having me on. It's been a blast. You know, I can't wait for all this to be over and you to come here. I'm going to definitely go to Jungle Gyms and I'm going to call you like, Rod, I'm here. I'm at Jungle Gyms. I'm in the hot sauce section. You know, I can't wait for all this to be over. So no, man, I do appreciate it, sir. No, if you want to check it out, you can follow me on Twitter at Beer in Front. The podcast is called Beer in Front, wherever you listen, wherever you pull up your podcast, where you find Rod J, I'm sure you could find mine. Check it out. I appreciate you for having me on. I appreciate you for thinking of listening to me. If you're out there, please give me a follow and listen. Well, just talking about good beer, having a good time, good conversations. Life's not that hard. It's always good over a beer. Yeah.
With the podcast on Wednesdays, is there a time you usually try to put it out there around, or just so people know?
Normally, I work early in the morning, so I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, Central Time, Chicago time. So I try to have it out by 6 or 7 Central Time, and then I'm doing more 2-part shows now with interviews, so I'll have that already pre-done and pump it out Friday at midnight. But generally, Wednesday evening, 6, 7 o'clock Central Time, it'll be posted.
Okay. So, yeah, it's a nice little night listening for people that want to tune in there. And, again, just set it up and get the download. You can listen back out.
You're frozen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it seems like it's moving on my end, so I don't know if it's just popping over there or what. But,
yeah, it could be my connection here.
But yeah, and then the last thing Jimmy said, to show how bad it can be down here, I did a video last week with corned beef. I couldn't buy Guinness in my hometown to go with it. Wow. So, some places you can't get stuff. It all depends where you're at.
Man, times are tough. Yeah.
But I do believe the corned beef was probably tasty for sure. So
Yeah.
but thanks for everybody that definitely tuned in tonight. Thanks to Dave. It was great having you on the show. Thank you for having me on your podcast last week as well. Yeah. Check out this man. This man has a fun podcast to listen to. Great entertainment, great knowledge, great interviews that he has with people as well. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this baby up. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Look forward to catching up with you guys soon. As always, keep drinking those good craft beers. Remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers, everybody.